Goose populations across the country are exploding. City parks, schoolyards, storm ponds, you name it. If there's food or water in it, it probably has some geese grazing or swimming there.
We're very fortunate right now. One, we've had really good harvest management for several years. We've had excellent habitat management as well. So we've got very good populations or high populations of almost all waterfowl species and actually game species overall. And luckily the Canadian Wildlife Service and the Ministry of Natural Resources is providing lots of, they're together providing lots of increased opportunity for us to get out and harvest these animals.
While on the topic of geese, we should discuss another goose that we have here in Canada, the snow goose. Although many of us have never seen them or heard much about them, they do exist and are exploding in population as well, to the point where their migratory routes are expanding from Quebec and New Brunswick on the eastern seaboard and into central parts of the country, like Ontario.
Congratulations, Mike.
Look at this brute. This country was built on fishing, hunting, and trapping. Pursuing wild game in the vast lakes, rivers, and forests has been a part of Canada's heritage for over 2 centuries. Back then, it was about survival. Today, anglers and hunters act as stewards with the focus on conservation, wildlife management, and habitat preservation. Whether you're urban or rural, fish or hunt, you should support sound wildlife management. And proudly say that I am an angler and hunter.
The Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters, celebrating 85 years of conservation, proudly presents Angler and Hunter Television. Brought to you by Canadian Tire, a proud partner of Angler and Hunter Television. Mercury Marine and Lund Boats. YAMAHA ATVs. What kind of YAMAHA are you? Browning, the best there is. Excalibur Crossbow. Compact recurve technology. The new Matrix changes everything. And Yukon Gear.
Keep on pulling, buddy.
Oh, he got off and he was huge.
Oh, big one!
Recently, we invited other outboard owners to look deeper into Mercury Verado.
The mid-range throttle response is amazing.
Got a lot of power for low RPM.
Whoa.
I can't get over the power that it has, how quickly it accelerates.
The torque is unbelievable.
Verado is up to 13% quicker than other four-strokes. Visit mercurymarine.com to see more ways Verado beats the competition. Mercury Marine, look deeper.
Feel that bad boy? Woo.
It's not about the shot itself. It's about all that came before it. A company that's given back to conservation so that the tradition of hunting will continue. A leader in innovation since its founding. It's the legendary excellence you've come to expect. You've got that history in your hands. Now it's about settling the crosshairs, focusing on that moment in time, and one legendary trigger pull that changes you. Winchester, the American legend.
I guess my first YAMAHA was 1986, and after that it was Yamahas to no end. When I look at timber property that I'm going to buy or be harvesting, you need a good, reliable machine to get you through the swamps. Pretty rough going some places. Different people have asked me about, why I buy Yamaha. Keep buying them because of the reliability, and the product that they make is just what we want. I'm Barry Elmhurst, owner and operator of BW Forest Products, and this is my Yamaha.
Closed captioning for Angler and Hunter Television is provided by Winchester Ammunition, an American legend.
Literally millions of snow geese pass through in the spring and fall on their way to and from the Arctic Circle. These birds travel in massive flocks and can often be seen as a blanket of white in farm fields. Ontario recently opened a spring season in the eastern part of the province to help manage the growing numbers and offer more waterfowling opportunities during peak migratory seasons. Scott Petrie, Jack Hughes, and some friends have joined us for a trip to the Morrisburg, Ontario area off the St. Lawrence River to take part in a spring and fall hunt for migrating snow geese. Setting up for snows is a serious undertaking. Hundreds of decoys need to be spread, and an elaborate electronic call setup is required. The crew at St. Lawrence Outfitters have all the gear and expertise required to pull this off, and they can accommodate large groups. One would think lying in a cornfield surrounded by a sea of white decoys would make you pretty inconspicuous. But snow geese are ultra wary and will circle the spread dozens of times, scanning for danger in a safe landing area. The slightest movement or sign that something's not right will spook the interested birds, and usually the thousands above them will follow suit. Lay down. We got two.
Take 'em.
Four in.
I like it.
Four down.
I like it.
This hunt was shaping up to be an awesome one, with tens of thousands of geese passing over us each day. But the weather turned on us and a blizzard cut our spring hunt short. It's quite a contrasting scenario we got here. Last night we came out and we were laying in a field of muck. The sky was blue, crystal clear, and the birds were a mile high. We managed to knock down about a half a dozen. This morning we set up in the same field. There's snow on the ground. It's a little cooler. And the birds are there. They're circling over us, but they're just not committing. So the guys are out there right now readjusting, and hopefully we can make something of this. But it's been pretty tough. It's not as easy as one would think, as it looks on TV.
Gear up with Canadian Tire.
Hunting waterfowl is an awesome experience. Calling migrating flocks into decoys can be a real challenge, and getting birds to commit once they see your decoys is the real trick. When geese circle a decoy spread, they're scanning the ground for danger, and if they see something they don't like, those birds will spook and head for a safer location. In most cases, the more decoys, the better. The Flambeau Snow Goose shell decoy is great for this situation. and it comes in packs of 12 with several different body postures. By spreading out a few dozen of these, you'll be sure the birds are focused on a place to land and not you. To see the full assortment of decoys and accessories, check out your local Canadian Tire store or visit canadiantire.ca.
Coming up, more great hunting.
The new Excalibur Matrix changes everything. Matrix is the first compact recurve crossbow. Matrix is faster. Try 380 feet per second and more powerful. Matrix is lighter, better balanced, easier to cock, quieter, has less recoil, is more consistent, more accurate. It can't be dry fired. It can be decocked. Matrix is superior in every way. The new Excalibur Matrix changes everything.
They're up there, you know. I've been to the ship. I've seen things. I've smelled things.
Look, I'm trying to forage here.
They fool you with the smell. They got me, but I escaped.
Yeah, from the loony bin.
The scent was like a blood trail, but it's deception.
Get away from me.
Beware, my friend. Trust no one. Trust no one.
Think GPS is just for getting you to the lake? Think again. The new iPilot wireless GPS trolling system can hold your boat in place like an electronic anchor. Record and retrace productive fishing paths, automatically keep you on any bearing you choose, and take total command of speed and steering. iPilot controls your boat with wireless GPS precision so you can focus on fishing. And it's only from Minn Kota.
The fall hunt was planned for mid-November, and again we set up 600 or 700 decoys during the early dawn hours, in anticipation of a few thousand snows coming into them. As the sun rose, you could feel the tension and the anticipation in our group, as the bad luck we had earlier in the spring was still fresh on our minds. We all wanted to get a good hunt in. The mild fall had us all concerned. Were the birds going to move? Were the Canada geese flocking to the area going to mess up our hunt? Time was standing still. But just as we had expected, the sky began to fill with giant flocks of snow geese looking for a field to land in, and ours was looking real good.
The greater snow goose population has increased immensely in the last half century, let's say. There's only a few thousand birds in the early part of the 1900s, and the population has grown to about 1 million birds now. It's sort of the last several years, the numbers are hovering around about 1 million birds. And of those 1 million birds, about 10% or 100,000 migrate through eastern Ontario. The population is much larger than it's ever been historically. They've just like Canada geese, they've increased in numbers thanks to all the food that's out there for them now, corn and wheat and all sorts of things that are grown by us for other reasons, but the geese are able to take advantage of that and have increased in numbers. Because of their increased numbers, though, they are causing some problems, both environmental problems and problems for people, mostly farmers, in the case of snow geese. Some of the environmental problems are marshes in their wintering areas that they've eaten out. They remove all the vegetation just because they're so numerous, and some of the little critters that ducks like to eat don't have anything left to grow on when those plants are gone, so they're causing some environmental issues there. It's not a really major concern, but we are afraid that if the population gets much bigger, the problems could get worse. And similarly for the farmers, in springtime, some years, the snow geese can do quite a bit of damage to young agricultural crops. So again, if we get very many more, the problems are just going to get bigger. And so because of that, The Canadian Wildlife Service has put measures in place to increase the harvest of snow geese. This is a great way to sort of solve two problems at once. We can both keep the population in check and at the same time offer lots of extra hunting opportunity for hunters.
Man, we probably just had, I'm going to guess, 300 or 400 birds above us. They're circling around again, but we got 3 here that might commit. Oh, they're leaving. They're heading for the hills. The frustration was overwhelming. These birds just wouldn't commit. Fair weather and no wind was allowing these birds to get a good look at our spread and take their time. Even the Canada geese were proving to be very wary.
Gulp Alive presents The Fishing Edge.
Got him! Oh, yeah!
Rigging soft plastic baits so they're weedless has always been a challenge. Conventional thinking has you using a 5/0 hook with a bait like this, putting it through the body, bringing it up through it like this, and putting the tip of that hook into the back of the bait to keep it weedless. Now that works a lot of the times, but there are occasions where that can hinder you from catching a fish. What I like to do with this bait, like the Berkeley grass pig, it has a hook slot in the bottom. Normally, you use it for hiding your hook and getting a more recessed, low-profile bait. But what I like to do is use it upside down. So I take that same hook, slide the keeper on, and now twist the bait 180 degrees so that hook slot is on the top. Now, when I bring the hook through the body of the bait and up through, it's perfectly hidden in that hook slot. Now I can bring that over and through any weed cover, and when a fish bites it, it's guaranteed to get hooked every time. I don't have to worry about that hook point being stuck into the body of the bait. Rigging your body baits, like the grass pig, upside down so they're weedless, yet still increasing your hookup percentage, will definitely give you the edge next time you're out.
The hunt continues after the break.
More than a century ago, Browning introduced the auto-loading shotgun to the world. Today's Browning Silver continues that tradition with greater reliability, softer felt recoil, better handling, and more features than ever before. The Browning Silver, the auto-loading shotgun that does it all. Browning, the best there is.
Fish are gonna need a new place to hide. Exclusive side imaging from Humminbird. Scan more water faster with 480 feet of side-to-side coverage and see structure detail with amazing picture-like images. Humminbird, simply, clearly, better.
A new age of modern scope technology has arrived. Burris Optics presents the Eliminator. The Eliminator incorporates laser range finding technology with automatic bullet drop compensation calibrated to your rifle and bullet combination. Burris Optics, leading the way in modern scope technology. Burris's new Eliminator rifle scope, changing rifle scopes forever. Just range them and eliminate them.
Now's the time you've been waiting for. Lund 1775 and 1875 Pro Vs are back. Pro Vs are built tough with double-plated hulls, marine-grade treated plywood, and reinforced transoms. Plus, Lund's exclusive IPS2 hull provides precise boat control and a soft, dry ride. State-of-the-art live wells, accessories, and tons of storage for rods and gear, making all Pro Vs the choice of professionals. Visit your local Lund dealer and reward yourself with the best. You've waited long enough.
Hunting is never a sure thing. Trying to coax wild game into shooting range is always a challenge. Luckily, the guys at St. Lawrence Outfitters had a backup plan. An evening hunt for Canadas and mallards was an option that we all agreed would allow us to get some shooting in. I was extra anxious as all this time I've been sitting with the new Browning A5 just waiting to put it to the test.
Yeah!
Woo! That was good.
So in this scenario tonight, it's not actually geese coming to this field, it's all traffic geese flying over top. So we have to get really loud and aggressive with them to break them down. But once we have them broke down, we finesse them into the decoys.
Get him.
I can't hear nothing. Two, there's a bunch, Left side, get ready, guys.
Get him, guys.
So when you see geese out farther, you're going to be loud, not quite as aggressive as when they get in close. Because if you start off really aggressive, you have nowhere to go, so you want to slowly build into it. So if when we see geese coming off the river, then as we finally get their attention and they get closer, we want to break them down into the decoys. Once they're at about 100, 150 yards, we get a little faster. Another thing is to be moving around. If you're always blowing in one direction, it sounds like one goose. But if you can kind of think of it as a roller coaster, you want to be louder, softer, sound like multiple geese. So if you're moving around in the blind, that's going to give you a lot better sound. Then once you finally have their attention and they're working, you just want to call them on the corners and really read the geese. If you're calling a lot and they're coming in, keep doing that. If they're not coming in so much, lay off a little bit. And finally get them right in the decoys and call the shot.
Okay.
Wow, that was impressive. The A5 worked flawlessly. All the guys had a great time, and we got some birds to take home so we can put our slow cookers and roasting pans to good use.
So this is the first year we'll have a waterfowl heritage hunt within the province of Ontario, which is a wonderful thing. All other provinces except Saskatchewan have one. And what it is that one day, it's the Saturday before the waterfowl opener. So in the southern zone where we are, it's the third Saturday in September. Youth can get out that are 12 to 17 years old, that have had the proper training and are with a mentor. And that mentor isn't allowed to have a gun, so it's the day is totally about youth. And that mentor helps to train that youth in waterfowl hunting, proper waterfowl hunting. And so they really have a day to themselves, which is a wonderful thing.
For Canadians, there's never been a better time to take up waterfowl hunting. I suggest you get out there and enjoy the extended hunting opportunities and take home some great table fare. Well, the snow goose hunt didn't turn out for us. We tried them in the spring. Weather got us. We tried them in the fall. The weather got the best of us, but at St. Lawrence Outfitters, they always look after you. And we managed to get out here for some Canadas, and we got some mallards. We had a great hunt. Guys, thanks a lot. Evan, great job. And we'll see you next time.
Angler and Hunter Television was brought to you by Canadian Tire, a proud partner of Angler and Hunter Television, Mercury Marine and Lund Boats, YAMAHA ATVs. What kind of YAMAHA are you? Browning, the best there is. Excalibur Crossbow. Compact recurve technology. The new Matrix changes everything. And Yukon Gear. Visit Angler and Hunter Television online at ahtv.com. You can find more information on today's show and past episodes or other great websites of the Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. And remember to conserve and protect the great outdoors.